Hey guys, welcome back to Music Talk with John. Today I'm continuing through my record collection. The last one I did, it's been a little while actually since I've been going through my record collection. I believe Hendrix was the last one that I did, and that one did really well. You guys seem to like that, so I might do some more Hendrix videos here. And where we're starting today is Don Henley. I only have one Don Henley album. I was a big, how do I put this? Like, I always liked Don Henley, but it didn't seem like I liked all of his albums all the way through. This one is an exception, but I liked Dirty Laundry. I like a lot of his hits, but I didn't like the whole albums. But this one I did, and there's probably a couple stragglers on this, but they're not, I want to say use words like horrible or bad. They're not enough where I go, that's really a, filler kind of thing. They're just not my thing. So anyway, so I'm probably looking for a good Don Henley greatest hits, but this one, I remember having this on CD when it first came out, and this is The End of the Innocents. That title track, I don't remember if it was written, but I know it's definitely played by Bruce Hornsby, and it's had a lot of hits on it. I actually pulled it up over here so I don't forget, but there were a lot of people on this album, and even like Mike Campbell played guitar and some keyboards on here, and obviously Mike Campbell wrote Boys of Summer, so that's his association with Don Henley. And because Mike Campbell had originally given Boys of Summer to Tom Petty, and Tom Petty just decided not to do it, and Don Henley said, hey, I'll do that one. So anyway, this album has, let's see, this is was it 1989? No, 89. Yeah, it was 89 when this came out. And let's see, it's on Geffen Records. And the big hits off this was The End of the Innocents, that played like crazy. Last Worthless Evening was a big one. New York Minute, I don't remember if that was a big hit, but I remember it being played a lot in different places. And The Heart of the Matter. I think that was a big one, had acoustic beginning, and this is where Henley had had that long hair thing going there. I remember that, and I think when we saw him in concert in Tampa when he was on tour for this, he had actually just like cut his hair and gotten rid of this long hair thing. So kind of a different look for Don Henley, but definitely one of my favorites. This is a go-to album for me as far as Don Henley goes. Like I said, I could get through this whole album without any issues, and it's definitely been in my life actually since '89. I remember this coming out, and as soon as I heard The End of the Innocents, I loved it. But oh yeah, like I was gonna say, the people on this, there's Mike Campbell, additional guitars, keyboards, Patti Smythe, which he ended up doing a duet with later. Then you had Axl Rose doing harmony and vocals on there on 2 tracks, and there's a Neville brother on there, and Edie Brickell's on here doing backing vocals. So there were a ton of people on this thing. I thought there was more. Yeah, Sheryl Crow's on this, Melissa Etheridge, Gloria Estefan, a lot of backing vocals in there. So just a lot of people on this album, but yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites. Next one I have here is a box set. When I first got back into albums, I was looking for, my go-tos, and that was Buddy Holly, because I had CD collections of him and all that. And this I just happened to find at a yard sale. Got it for, I can't remember now, but I know I got it really cheap. It was probably under $8. And this is like, I don't know, this is a 6 record set. The complete Buddy Holly includes a 64-page souvenir scrapbook. And it was in good shape. It's an older box. The quality's good. Every record in here is clean. I just came across this and very happy that I did. So it has this big book in here. I guess this says complete, so it's everything in there, but I'll give you an idea of these pages here. Cool picture of Buddy on the back there with his trademark glasses. So some early pics of Buddy. Yeah, Buddy Holly's just been a favorite. I just wonder what he would have done. He seemed to be a standout in rock and roll to me. And I heard a phone interview with him one time, and they played it with him talking. I think he was from Texas, and he just seemed like a very polite guy, very, maybe not really, I guess shy he seemed like in the interview, but, or in the phone call or whatever. But man, when he got on stage, he definitely knew how to play that guitar, and I think he was really just taking rock and roll to a different level, and I really wonder what he would have been like if he'd gotten into because he died in the 50s, I believe, right, in a plane crash. So I wonder what he would have done to rock and roll, or for rock and roll, if he would have progressed into the 60s, what his changes, his style would have done. And, you know, just one of those guys that passed away, and you just wonder, you know, what would it have been? So there's a lot of very cool pictures in this thing. They did a nice job with it. I don't know when this box set came out. I don't know if there's a date on it or not. But it's really taking you through his career. A lot of cool paper cutouts and all that. So, yeah. Oh, there's Buddy Holly and the crickets. With a little cricket head there. So, very, very cool booklet with everything. It's in good shape. This thing's really in like good shape. I guess somebody just kept it around and didn't open it much. There's the plane crash there. So they put all that in there. I don't know when this was, 1959. So just more and more things like that. It's nice too, it came with this little insert inside of it, and this is each album. There are 6 albums in here, and it shows you what's on each side. And it's like record 1, Lubbock, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, Lubbock, Texas, Western and Bop. Record 2, Nashville, Tennessee, Changing All Those Changes. 3, Clovis, New Mexico, Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Record 4, Clovis, New Mexico, and on to New York. Record 5, New York, New York, Planning for the Future. And record 6, The Collectors, Buddy Holly. So there's probably a lot of information about all these in here. It's been a while since I've opened it up, and I'm kind of glad I do these, because this reminds me, hey, you need to play some of these records. There's a reason why you got this stuff. So these are the albums, and they're on black vinyl. And they're just clean, just nice and clean. I don't know if you can see that, but they're not as, I mean, just not even dust on it. It's sweet. So, we got that one. And then we have, and it even shows you record 2. So they did a nice job putting this thing together. Record 3. 4. So I don't know what the difference was with Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Did he start with Buddy Holly and the Crickets? Did he go to Buddy Holly and the Crickets? I don't know. And right there. So very nice set. They kept it in order. I'm gonna get these into some better sleeves, but they've done pretty well in this paper. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it alone. Sometimes you just let stuff be. But yeah, that's Buddy Holly. This is just everything on here. There's so many on here. He does a cover of Brown Hide, Handsome Man. I believe that was that Chuck Berry? Yeah. So it looks like he does some covers in the beginning, Shake, Rattle, and Roll. And then he gets into That'll Be the Day.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day.
Peggy Sue's on here. So everything is on this. It's just, it's a really good collection, and I think they put it, I wonder if they put it in order as his career progressed, because that's kind of, that seems the feel of it. So I'm gonna have to get back in there and check that box set out. The next one I have here for you, this was kind of like a one-timer thing, not typical of this artist. You know, Robert Plant with the Honeydrippers. So anyway, this was an EP. You had 3 songs on one side and 2 on the other. This was, I was reading up on this, and it was released in '84, and it was an idea for Atlantic Records president Ahmet Erdogan or something like that. He wanted to put an album together of his favorite songs of like the 50s, or yeah, I think they're like 50s standards. So somehow Robert Plant got involved in this, and I want to pull it up because the personnel was interesting on this one too, because you had Paul Schaefer from David Letterman. He was on there. You got Nile Rodgers, who's a producer and all that. He was involved in that. But then you have Robert Plant, or not Robert Plant, sorry, I said Robert Plant, but Jeff Beck shows up, and he does guitar on I Got a Woman and Rockin' at Midnight. Yeah, so these 2 songs here. So he's on both sides, and then Jimmy Page shows up, and he does Sea of Love, and I didn't realize he was on that, and that's the big hit that they had off this, was Sea of Love. And so he does Sea of Love and Get a Thrill. So the first two songs are him. So I don't know who did Young Boy Blues. I'm not sure. But I like this. It's a nice little album. It sounds good, and it was a song I always liked. I always liked that song, Sea of Love. It's on black vinyl. It's nice and clean. So I picked it up real cheap a while ago. And it's Honeydrippers Volume 1, but I don't really think there'll be a Volume 2. I think it's just a one-timer. It's something that an executive wanted and he got, and there was a hit off of it. So that's what that is. Next one I have here, I think I picked this one up either this year or last year, but came out, Music on Vinyl. This sounds really good. The Jacksons, ABC. Interesting album. We got Michael Jackson with those, just his range is crazy. It's like shattering glass. His vocals are so high. There's a couple songs, I think a couple of the other Jacksons, the brothers, took the lead vocals. But it's interesting because Michael's singing about some very mature subjects on here, relationships and things like that, and it's sung by a little kid. So that's the only thing that kind of throws me off about these Jackson albums. But you look past it and you go, my God, the soul and the feeling this kid had at that age, Just incredible. I don't think there's anything in here, and it's on just some regular black vinyl. But it is Music on Vinyl. They're the ones that put it together and pressed it, and this is clean, sounds great. Everything I have with Music on Vinyl, I think I have some Stevie Ray Vaughan Music on Vinyl, and they're all clean, clear, not a pop on them. So maybe I can get this back in the plastic. The only thing I don't like is the way they do it, is they put this sticky stuff on there to get it to stay, but then it sticks to your album when you're trying to get it in there. So the sticky thing's there, and it makes that stay there nice and neat, but kind of gets in the way. It's a little annoying, but I'll get over it. But on this, obviously ABC was the big one. This is the second album from the brothers Michael, Jackie, Tito, Marlon, and Jermaine. Includes the top #1 single ABC, then One More Chance, and The Love You Save is on this. Just a good album, good solid, fun album to put on. Not a dead song on there as far as I'm concerned. Then I have, and I just realized, this is the only copy of Thriller that I have. And this is, 82, right? Yeah, 82 this came out. It's a picture disc, but it plays really well. So I'm going to be on the hunt for an actual, I don't have the MoFi thing. They didn't have it available locally for me. So I'm going to just look for a good copy of Thriller. But this one will do for now. And it came in that thick plastic when this came. It was like, just had this piece of paper and then the album, and then that plastic was just sticking to it. So I got rid of that and just put it in a regular sleeve here. But this is one of those albums, as a kid, especially when the Thriller video came out, I was all over that. I must have watched that video I don't know how many times. It's back when you could rent VHS, and I rented it, and I think I went for a couple late fees because I just wanted to watch it again and again and again. I was just so fascinated with the whole thing, and it was the making of Thriller and then the video, so I just watched that over and over.
You ready, Kevin? Action! End slate. Excellent.
1 minute, 30 seconds. 2 minutes.
I probably like the video more than the actual song. It's a good song, but the video was like this whole thing of its own. But every song on this to me is good. Even The Lady of My Life was kind of a dud for me as a kid. I've grown into that as an adult. PYT and Human Nature are two stick-out songs for this album. Billie Jean and Beat It have just got the hell played out of them. So I still like them, but I think that's why PYT and Human Nature are more of my favorites. But Want to Be Starting Something on the beginning of that is just, I've always liked that song too. Just all the changes in there and everything. So yeah, and then he has The Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney. It's just a good, solid album. I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, only nine songs on there too. So There's a reason it's the world's biggest selling album of all time. I still enjoy it. I still put it on. It hasn't gotten old for me, so that's good in my eyes. Next one I have here for you is James Gang, Thirds. This, somebody had shown me last year or this year somewhere. I have somebody that I do like music assignments with, and they throw an album at me to go check out, and I throw an album at them, and this is one of them, and I fell in love with this album from the first note. Walk Away is a big one on here. It was Tina's, but Tina, I have your album now. Joe Walsh is in here. You have Dale Peters, Jim Fox. So that's a three-piece band. Never realized that. I don't know. I've always heard of James Gang, but never really checked them out. And like I said, this was a good one to start with because this is just killer all the way through. Just a good, solid album. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. I'm not sure what other tracks were on this, as far as if they were released as singles or not. But Walk Away I know was. That's about the only one. Then you have You Dig, Things That Could Be, Dreaming in the Country, It's All the Same, Midnight Man, Again, White Man, Black Man, and Live My Life Again. White Man, Black Man's a good song. Check that out. I think that was the one that's kind of talking about racial barriers and things like that.
White man, black man.
And then the last one I have for you here, this was a re-release, put together, remastered. I think it was 40th year anniversary, yep, of Aqualung. I'm not big into Jethro Tull, but I love this one. I haven't really given Thick as a Brick a good shot, but I will. But this one, I just love this album. I guess it's a concept album, but it's good melodies all the way through, good rock and roll. And I believe it's on just regular black vinyl. You have the green middle there, Chrysalis Records. And this says in the front the 2011 Steven Wilson stereo remix. And this is the 40th anniversary of the Steven Wilson remix. So, and you have a booklet here. So you have that. Don't know too much about them. I have heard them live, like actually on Howard Stern. And their characters, and they sound really good, very amazing. So you have this little booklet that came with it. So if you haven't gotten into it, I guess this is considered prog rock, but this is a prog rock I can get into. I think because there's still more formed songs, they go off a little bit and go into other things, but they stay pretty consistent, kind of like, like Pink Floyd. I mean, I'm not comparing the sound of these guys to Pink Floyd, but there's still a melody and a way you can follow through a Pink Floyd song and then this Jethro Tull stuff. Where a lot of the prog stuff, to me, you can't. It just goes off, and I don't even know where I am in the song half the time. I just think they're trying to play as fast as possible in the recording studio and get as strange as they can, and it just doesn't do anything for me. Where this is more formed and together, I guess you could say, throughout this, and the melodies are very catchy, Aqualung is just killer. Definitely recommend it if you haven't checked these guys out. I don't know what this is. Looks like some computer notes on new mixes. I guess they're showing you right here. There's got to be a digital step in there because that looks like Pro Tools or something right there. And then you have that picture on the back. Excellent album, Jethro Tull, Aqualung. And that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. Sorry it's been so long. I know a lot of you guys like to see me going through my collection. I've been getting out and filming record stores and doing my walk and talk thing. And I kind of forgot about this. I got to get back through my collection. It's funny, in the beginning I was like, I don't know if I'll ever have enough ideas for all these, for YouTube, and how am I going to do something every week? Now it's just crazy, ideas everywhere. The more I talk to you guys and the comments you guys leave, it's constant, like something to do, something to film. So I almost forgot to get back to my basics of getting through my collection. So coming up, I'm really excited because Billy Joel's coming up, and I'm going to be taking my time on him. So please be patient with me. I'll have other videos, but I'm getting through the Billy Joel. He's somebody I grew up with, so I'm going to be taking my time going through the Billy Joel stuff. I found some cool information about him, a little bit of background about his childhood and family and things like that. So Billy Joel's coming up next as far as through my record collection. I'll be pulling the brakes back a little bit and taking you through Billy Joel. So that's what I have for you. Thank you for watching, and until next time, you guys enjoy your music and you take care out there, all right? Bye.